Welcome back to Mind Vibes, the gym for your personal growth. We are proud of you that you're trying to become the best version of yourself by watching our videos. With us, you will be more motivated, more proud of yourself, and you will be hungrier to achieve your goals. Stay with us and let's start with the video of today. Mind Vibes. All of us are victims of negative thoughts, especially in stressful times where all our uncertainties seem to collapse. A negative thought can be dictated by anything: anxiety about the future, regret or remorse, the feeling of not being up to something, the tendency to compare ourselves to others, uncertainty. In the society we live in, these mental patterns are considered normal, but we often do not realize how negative thinking can become a dangerous habit. Thoughts, in fact, are continuously absorbed and processed by the mind, and when they are repeated over and over again, they can evolve into states of anxiety, depression, or harmful behaviors that are very difficult to get rid of. But first, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and smash that like button. Why it is wrong to repress negative thoughts. When you start thinking negatively, you may be tempted to force those thoughts out of your head, trying to repress them to make them go away. But this approach is often counterproductive. Fighting negative thoughts can actually strengthen that thinking pattern, making things even worse. The more you try not to think about something, the more you end up thinking about it. It's important to not try to demonize negativity. It's about processing and dealing with it. There are some obvious solutions, such as eliminating toxic people from our lives and focusing on activities that make us feel good. But in this article, we have collected 10 effective and targeted methods to better manage negative thoughts until we get rid of them almost completely. From finding the source of your negativity to learning not to fight it, here are some techniques that you can use right away to eliminate negative energy from your life. How to get rid of negative thoughts. 10 effective techniques. 1. Change your body language. Take a moment to observe your body language. Are you hunched over, bent over, or with poor posture? Do you tend to close your body to the world, perhaps by squeezing your shoulders or walking with your back bent? If so, it will be more likely that you will think negatively. Improper body language can lower your self-esteem and lead to a lack of confidence. In this emotional state, it is natural to start having negative thoughts. To feel safe, you need to open your posture and learn to smile more. It may seem strange to you, but experts have confirmed that by correcting body language, the mind adapts accordingly. Make an effort to correct your posture, open your shoulders, and smile more often. It may be just what you need to start clearing negative thoughts. 2. Talk about your negative thoughts. Sometimes a negative thought arises because there are problems or emotions that you need to communicate. It is never good to keep everything inside. We risk accumulating negativity and discontent to the point of bursting in the worst possible ways. If there is something you need to talk about, you should do it without fear. If you don't have people in your life you can trust, see a therapist or psychological counseling desk. Turning thoughts into words shapes them and makes them visible, helping you put problems into perspective and deal with them more effectively. It also often helps you realize how much we magnify the problems in our head. 3. Try to clear your mind for 5 minutes a day. When your mind gallops out of control, it can be difficult to stay calm. In this whirlwind of emotions, it is much more difficult to keep the flow of thoughts under control, especially the negative ones. 5 minutes of awareness and concentration each day are often enough to begin to identify thoughts, catalog them, and if necessary, move them away to enjoy a few moments of total peace of mind. Meditation can be very useful for this purpose, and you should think of it as a kind of mental reboot. Once the mind is alert, it can be filled with something more positive. 4. Change the focus of your thoughts. Sometimes, negative thinking is the result of a wrong perspective or prejudices that we have been carrying around for years. Notice how you interpret the events happening around you and how your mind is prone to react. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm having a hard time," and "I'm having problems," you might be thinking, "I'm facing some challenges, but I'm working to find solutions." You're basically saying the same thing, but the second sentence has a more positive point of view. Often, our preconceptions and our life experiences significantly limit the brain's ability to look at situations objectively and subjectively. A small change in perspective can make a big difference in managing your mental patterns. 5. Be creative. When negative thoughts come, it is very helpful to find a creative outlet to get them out of your head. Write what you hear, draw or paint something, or dedicate yourself to a manual activity. Exploring emotions through creativity acts as self-therapy and improves your mood. Creativity can seem to all intents and purposes a liberation. When you process your emotions through an art form, you break the usual dynamics of your thoughts, and it will be easier for you to understand and control them. 6. Take a walk. Since thoughts reside in the mind, it's easy to assume that's where they form. But that's not entirely true. Sometimes our thoughts are a product of our environment. For example, if you are surrounded by negative people, chances are that you start thinking negatively too. Getting away from this environment can help tremendously, even if you're only doing it temporarily. Taking a short daily walk in nature, in a park or in a museum can be incredibly therapeutic. The time you spend away from negative influences will provide you with an interlude of tranquility, helping you clear the negativity around you. 7. List everything you are grateful for. Have you forgotten all the beautiful things around you? Sometimes in the daily routine, we lose sight of the wonderful things that are present in our life. You need to train your mind to return to focus on all the good that is happening around you by exercising gratitude. List all the things you should be thankful for, no matter how small they may seem. Don't take anything for granted. Sometimes the best things in our lives are right in front of our eyes and we can't see them. Stop being blind to all the blessings and the fortunes you are surrounded by. 8. Remember that people don't care much about what you say or do. It's easy to fall into the trap of negative thoughts when you focus on what people might say or think about you and what you do. In this way, you nullify your personal power by putting it in the hands of others. The truth is, almost everyone doesn't have a lot of time, attention, or energy to think or talk about what you do. They already have their fears and worries, their own thoughts, and their lives to manage. This awareness can help you break free from harmful patterns and help you take small steps towards what's important to you and not those around you. 9. Question the thinking. One thing I like to do when a negative thought tries to start growing in my mind is to simply question that thought. I wonder, should I take you seriously? This very often leads me to say, well, no, honestly, I shouldn't. Because at that moment, I'm tired or hungry or overworked, and negativity that can cloud my mind. Maybe I'm focusing too much on a small mistake or a bad day, instead of focusing on the other 95% of my life, which tends to be positive. Sometimes, this question helps me understand that just because I made a small mistake doesn't mean that I did wrong overall, or that this deviation doesn't mean things will get worse and stay that way for a long time. I choose optimism and take small steps forward. Basically, this question helps me have more control and brings me back to a balanced perspective. 10. Replace the negativity around you. As we have already said, the environment in which we live greatly influences our thoughts. Ask yourself, what are the 3 main sources of negativity in your life? It could be people, websites, magazines, social networks, music, and so on. Ask yourself what you can do to limit the time you expose yourself to these sources. If you can't find a way to do this right now, take a smaller step and just focus on one of these sources, the largest. So dedicate the time you have released this week to more positive activities and people who are already in your life or you want to explore better. Negative thoughts are something that each of us has to struggle with, so don't feel bad when you realize you have them. But instead of getting angry with yourself or feeling down, accept these feelings and try to get over them. By applying the methods we have recommended in this video, you will be able to find peace of mind, regain your personal power, and take advantage of all the benefits that optimism and positive thinking can bring to your life. If you liked the video, leave a comment, or share it with someone on social networks if you think it will be of help to others. See you in the next video.